Did you hear that?
All right. Hope everybody's doing good. I am going in a couple days out to our main research area, the spot we call the Happy Place. It is in East Georgia. The weather is going to be horrible. It's going to be nasty, and there's freaking gnats everywhere and mosquitoes, and summertime is not great out there. But you know what? I have had my fill of concrete and automobiles and people, so it's time to get out in the woods. That is a chance to do it solo. I've been out there several times by myself, but I have yet to spend the night out there by myself. So I'll keep everybody posted on that. Maybe even do it live out there. But what I really want to talk about is some really good evidence that we captured when we were out there. Now, I just did an interview a few days ago, and it'll be out, I think, in 2 weeks. And usually when I do podcasts or interviews, I tend to focus on the sightings that we had out there, which is pretty understandable because that was our goal. In fact, the entire process from meeting Happy Harris, which is the guy who had a pretty traumatic incident happen over 30 years ago on that property, the one that brought us out there. From meeting him, getting to know him, his story, the hours spent listening to podcasts, talking to other witnesses, other researchers, looking at maps, learning everything we possibly could for 4 years, having the experiences and trying to learn on my own property, to meeting up with Happy, going out to that property, finding great evidence, and then eventually having a sighting. It's textbook. It's desperately what I want to happen again. All we need is another witness with another property, right? I think we can definitely repeat the process, and I'm extremely happy about that. It was life-changing. It's one of the most exciting, yet I don't even know how to describe it. The fact that these creatures are even real still blows my mind. And it's the most interesting thing I've ever come across in my entire life. So it's no wonder that the sightings that we all had out there that day is what we focus on. But from the very first time we went out there, we collected really good evidence. And some of that is what I want to share tonight. Now, we got out there on the first day. We met up with Happy. We were there maybe 15 minutes, okay? I'm going to go to the whiteboard here. Now, the way the property's lined out, there's a pipeline that runs down the middle of the property, and there's woods on either side. These are shooting lanes. That is a deer stand. Now, the first day we came out there, we started over here near this wood line because Happy was trying to find the exact spot where his incident happened 30 years ago. He's looking around, and me and Scott, we find tracks. He looks down and says, "Hey, I've got tracks." And immediately I look down and say, "Hey, I've got tracks too." We follow the tracks into this wood line, and eventually we come to these big pine straw beds. It looks like something laid down on the ground, maybe on their butt, reached out and pulled all the pine straw to the middle. We found 2 of those. We can't prove that they were made by Sasquatch. Even if they were, we don't know exactly what they were doing with them. I suspect if they were being used by the Sasquatch, it was maybe to give birth in or something like that. I don't know. All we know is we had never seen anything like that. None of us have. All the years we've been out in the woods and hunting, we've never seen anything quite like that. So we find 2 of those beds, animal bones in the tracks. And that's the very first day, and we're already celebrating. I'm already super happy for Happy because of the fact that when he had his incident happen out there, he didn't tell anybody for 30 years. They basically ran him out of the woods. It was so traumatic. But so it was already like validating, Happy's experience. Well, there's 5 of us. 2 of the guys, Captain Joe and another guy named Joey, they go back to a cabin that we were actually staying at. It's Captain Joe's cabin about 20 minutes away. Me, Scott DeForest, and Happy Harris, we stay behind. This is around the area where we had a campfire, right? And we're all 3 standing around that campfire. I have a 2022 Bronco. It was brand new. I think I'd had it about a week. It's facing that direction. Scott's truck is right here. As we're standing around, we're about 15 feet away from the wood line. As we're standing around the fire, just talking, maybe 2 hours after dark, we hear a very, very loud set of vocals. Now, there's people that have gone back and forth. It's canine, it's coyote, it's dog, whatever it is. I'm not focused at all. In fact, you can just go ahead and throw out the vocalizations that kind of sound canine. I do not believe at all that they are, but just completely ignore them. Call it a dog if you'd like to. But you hear these canine like-ish howls, and then right after that, there are 3 vocals that go, 100%. No other animal in Georgia makes that sound. I 100% believe that it's Sasquatch. We all did. We all heard it. And everything you're about to hear, it's coming from, I had a GoPro sitting on the hood of my vehicle right here, facing that direction. Now, you're not going to see anything because it's nighttime, but it did pick up really good audio. So it picked up those vocalizations. So we're super excited. Very impressive and fairly close vocalizations. Well, about 40 minutes go by, and I'm standing here with my back to the wood line, and I start hearing like thud noises, like some kind of thumping or thud, something with bass in it. And I asked the other guys, hey, do y'all hear that? I keep hearing this thud, and neither one of them, they didn't hear what I was hearing. And right after I say that, there is a rock that is thrown and it hits my vehicle coming from this wood line. Now, I don't know exactly where it hit the vehicle. It's super obvious. It's very obvious, even by the sound, that it's a rock. I did have a cracked windshield about a week and a half after that. So I don't know if maybe it hit the corner and I didn't see it or what, but I did wind up having a cracked windshield that I had to have replaced on a brand new vehicle, which brings to mind the fact that the audio I'm about to play you, if there's little kids in a room, cover their ears, because I was cussing like a sailor or a Marine. Number one, I'm very torn because of the fact it's a brand new vehicle, and they just throw a rock at it. But then again, we think it's a Sasquatch throwing a rock. So I'm super excited. So they throw the rock, and we're like going back and forth like there's no way it fell out of a tree. Our vehicles aren't underneath the tree. It was definitely a rock, blah, blah, blah. And as we're talking, you can hear a mouth pop. Now, the interesting thing about the mouth pop, and now I don't know if they're doing it with their mouth or how they're making this sound, but it's the exact sound that people described when they say Sasquatch making a mouth pop. The audio picks it up, but we never hear it. I didn't find this out till I got the recording home, but I'll isolate it and you can hear it. It's super obvious. There's nothing else out there that makes that sound, and that you can tell it's closer. I think it's over here somewhere. But so you hear the mouth pop, and then after that, there is a grunt right behind me, like right in this wood line. And all 3 of us say, I heard that. And then I actually start kind of celebrating. I'm not moving around or anything. We're all acting like nothing's going on because we don't want to scare anything off. We want to see how far it'll go. but I'm cussing and celebrate. Yes, God dang it! I can't believe this is happening. And I'm like gradually trying to move over to my thermal camera to try to get it pointed in the right direction. And as that's going on, Happy, um, he's pretty much had enough. He reaches down, grabs the flashlight because he's just wanting to get a look at this thing because we know it's close, judging by that growl or the grunt and the throw. Right, this thing's got to be close. So he reaches down to grab the flashlight and turn it on, and you hear me say, "Don't shine." I don't want him to shine the flashlight to scare it off. Right after he clicks on that flashlight, um, that GoPro records one of the strangest audios or vocalizations that I've recorded since I've been doing this. It's I think, a direct response to Happy turning that flashlight on. He goes, "Arr, arr," which is, you just got to listen to it. It's crazy. But that whole night was, even if we never had any sightings, it was the third trip out there that we had our sightings. Even if we never had any sightings on that property, just that night and just these audios and the interaction being that close was just unbelievably exciting. We were extremely happy. That and the validation Happy must have gotten just from that, made it well worth my while to be involved in all this. And the thing is, it's very odd. It's very odd to not only have seen these creatures, but to record audios like this, vocalizations like this, and I've got several from over the years, and know that they're Sasquatch. You've got them recorded. I put them on the channel. It may get a couple hundred views. It may get a couple thousand views. People see it, and then that's it. We just move on. It's just so surreal and so weird. And, I'm really trying to work out how do we get people to realize that these things are real and these are real vocalizations from these real creatures. And then what do we do with them now that we've got them? I'm not just doing this because I wanted to have a YouTube channel. We have a drive, a purpose, a mission, and that is to try to prove these things are real. So I want to keep, it happened a couple of years ago. It's not the most exciting aspect of that property, but I think it's very important to not forget that we do have this evidence, and they're very good vocals, and I hope all of you enjoy them. I'm gonna play, first I'll play the first vocalization. Like I said, don't even worry about the canine. Just ignore that. Think whatever you want to about it. But the two that happen, or the three vocalizations that happen after the canine sounds, 100%, I'd bet my house on it that they're Sasquatch. And then I'll go through and isolate and amplify everything that happened while we were around the campfire. So hope you guys enjoy, and I will keep everyone up to date and possibly do a live from the field coming up on Sunday evening. But I will talk to y'all later. Have a good one. I need Mike to pop one of those mountains. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I heard that.
behind me. That same thump. Did you hear that shit?
Yeah. I hit the car.
Something's hitting the fucking car.
Yep.
Sure as fuck wasn't falling out of the tree.
There ain't nothing over the tree. What I tell you, just water watch it and do something to get attention to what we'll do.
Just ignore it.
Well, keep doing things so just to react. It's entertaining. And they even mimic your hiccup.
That was
Something else they've learned.
close behind us.
Yeah,
That wasn't far off the.
behind you. What? I heard that thing in Arizona. I heard that thing in Arizona. I heard that thing in Arizona. If we didn't do anything, we'd run.
That's why. Oh, son. All right, go.
Leave the legs on.
That's why. Oh, son. All right, go.
Leave the legs.
Oh, son. All right, go.
Leave the legs.
Oh, son. All right, go. Oh, son. All right, go.